It's another Motorcycle Friday. This morning I was going to take a long ride. After letting it warm up a little, it was something like 25 degrees this morning. And at around 10 o'clock I finally got out to the garage, started up my bike in 41 degree temps, and it would not turn over. So I had to run out and buy a battery tender charger, charge it up, and after an hour it started up. Now, I had last ridden the bike Sunday night, and we had some real cold nights between Sunday night and Friday. So, what's the lesson to be learned here? The lesson to be learned is during the winter, put your bike on a battery tender, just in case, even if you plan to ride it more than once or twice a week. It's been a year since I bought this bike, and what I'd like to do now is go over what I like and what I don't like about the bike. But I'm going to do that in the security of my own garage. So let's go there. Okay, I'm back in my relatively warm garage. So, I've owned this bike for a year now, a little more than a year, and there are things about it I like, things about it I'm not so hot about. Let's go over those. Well, first of all, the first thing I really like about this bike is the way it looks. I like the black and chrome a lot. And the very first time I stepped into a Harley dealership, I was attracted right away to a Road King because of those fenders, these three lights, and that windshield configuration. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That, to me, is what a motorcycle is. That is the motorcycle. There are other motorcycles, and they're great. Kawasaki's, Indians, all sorts of bikes, Hondas. I've ridden a Goldwing. That was a great bike. Those are good motorcycles. But for me, this is the motorcycle. That's just what a motorcycle looks like. The 103 twin cam, it is not the most powerful engine Harley makes, and sport bike riders like to make fun of it. They like to make fun of Harleys because they're big and slow, but for me, it's fine. I like the engine a lot. It's a little rattly, a little shaky at stoplights. That's okay, I have no problem with that at all. I'm used to it, and that's, to me, what a Harley does. Now, I wish these were Vance and Hines pipes or something else like that. They're Freedom Performance Racing. They're not super popular. They sound fine. They have exactly the note I want, deep and louder. So that's good. I have no problems there. I really like the detachable windshield. That feature is maybe the best of all. When I'm riding and the windshield's on, I feel like a cop. When I'm riding and the windshield's off, I feel like a Visigoth. Either one of those is good. Actually, I prefer riding with the windshield off during the summer. That's a lot of fun. The pipes, these slip-ons, there's a certain amount of deceleration popping that goes on with this bike. When I let up on the throttle sometimes, I get a bam, which is gasoline being exploded in the exhaust. It's not terribly efficient, and the fact of the matter is I get about anywhere from 36 to 39 miles per gallon on this bike, riding city and highway. On the highway I can get up to 41, 42 miles per gallon. That's not quite as good as I thought it might be, but I don't mind that. It's still good. I like the smoky taillights and the smoky turn signals. That's one thing the previous owner did right. That looks good. Got them up here too. I really like my highway pegs. Those are great. I'm glad I put them on. The perfect riding position for me is with my feet out on those things. Not a big fan of this unadorned passenger footrest. But I can fix that, and I think I will next year. They make chrome things that you can put on there that dress it up a little bit. I'll be doing that, I think. I'm not a big, this is a cop bike. It's a 103 Police. It's an FLHP. And I'm not a big fan of these red switches that are unused on my bike. What they do is, those are the switches for the pursuit lights and the siren. They don't do anything on this bike save to make a goofy little light and turn green and yellow. I'm not a big fan of those. I'd remove them, but I understand that these are not discrete switches. They are actually soldered into a circuit card. I'm not doing that. I'll just leave them alone. I do like the fact that this speedometer is here and not here. It's a whole lot easier to see. When I originally got this bike, it had this goofy plate here with the hole for the fork lock showing. I got rid of that and put on this chrome piece. I'm a much bigger fan of the way that looks with the chrome piece than the way it comes stock. The seat. Yeah, the seat. It's not bad. It's a whole lot better than the Suzuki seat I had on my Boulevard. And at the end of the day, I don't have back pains or anything like that, and my rear end doesn't hurt, and my tailbone's not sore. So I guess it's okay, but I suspect that a gel-filled seat or something made by Mustang or Corbin is going to be better. It's okay. The seat's okay. I like the saddlebags. There isn't much I can't get into them, as it turns out. A dozen roses, a box of green beans for my dog. There's all sorts of things I fit in those. So they're a nice size. I really like my Marine Corps license plate and my Marine Corps coil cover. I like the great big floorboards. Those are nice. I like those a lot better than pegs. I also like my big brake pedal. That's the size it should be. There's not a lot about this bike that I don't like. The wheels, I need to do some more work on those. I don't keep those as clean as I should. They're rather difficult to clean, but I suspect all motorcycle wheels are. You can see it's going to be difficult to clean back there. You got to take off the saddlebag and do some extra work. Someday I think I'll get much brighter LED lights, but these are okay for now. I don't do a lot of nighttime riding. I don't like it. I prefer daytime riding. But when I go to work in the mornings, it's often quite dark. So LED lights would be nice. Here we go. The heel shifter. I was told that once I got used to that heel shifter, I would never go back to a toe shifter. Wow, those heel shifters are great. You know what? I never use it. I tried, but the thing is, this toe shifter is in exactly the right place for my foot. I don't have to lift my foot off the floorboard in order to shift through the gears. I have to lift my foot off the floorboard to jam down the heel shifter, though, if I want to shift that way. I don't see the point. So I never used the heel shifter. Not a big fan of it, which came as a surprise to me. What else? There is just so much to like on a Road King. It's a bike that Harley pretty much perfected when they introduced it. Of course, it's the descendant of the old FLH, the classic Harley bike, and this is about what Harleys look like. This is what everybody thinks of when they think of a Harley, something that looks just like this. And it's hard to get more American than a Harley Davidson. What really made the difference for me is when I went to the York factory last year and I saw Americans using American metal and stamping out American gas tanks and American fenders for an American motorcycle. That's what kind of did it for me. That's when I decided, okay, I think I want a Harley. Pretty sure now. So that's what turned me into a Harley guy. Oh, my cop bike. It does not say Road King on the front fender. It just has that line. I would prefer that it said Road King, but that's not a big deal. What else? I like all the chrome in the front. I'm a fan of chrome. And one thing I really like is when it's cloudy outside, you see the clouds reflected in all of this chrome. That is really cool. I like that a lot. I fitted a thermometer to this rear view mirror. I don't know if I'm going to keep it there or not. It's just something I like to know. I like to know how hot it is or cold it is outside. Oh yeah, I have a passenger backrest here that goes on. I like the fact that I can put it on or take it off, these mounts. I also like the fact that I can fit a tour pack. I have a leather tour pack somebody gave me. I like the fact that I can fit that on here too. So that makes it flexible. I like the way this bike looks from the rear. I like how the saddlebags make it look wide in the back and it's narrow in the front. I like my crash bars. Oh, I like the Rushmore saddlebags. I really like doing it that way rather than attempting to unlatch it here. That's nice. I dig this bar and shield logo on that piece of fabric. That's pretty cool. Some people complain about the fact that the suspension in the back is pneumatic. You have to put air in it through this valve down here. That doesn't bother me. And to be honest, I can't tell if it's 20 pounds or 50 pounds. It all pretty much feels the same to me. I'm kind of inert in that way. So I don't have any complaints. Oh, it would be nice if this part were dressed a little bit better. It doesn't look like that on an Indian Springfield. On an Indian Springfield, you see more of a piece of metal. It's less wiry looking, but that's a minor complaint. I like the way it handles. For the way I ride, which is just basic touring, I really like the way it handles. I test rode a Softail Heritage, which is a fine bike, but it's agile, it's light, but everything being the same, I prefer the touring suspension and the touring frame and the size and the weight of this bike. It suits me really well. I'm 6'4", over 300 pounds now. Hopefully that'll change next year. And this bike is just built really well for me. I no longer have any problems maneuvering it around the parking lot or even the garage. This garage, what I do is I pull it straight and then I turn here and then turn wiggle, 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 and then I back it into its space over there. I've gotten to the point where I do that and it's not remarkable. And I really like the V-twin. I like my twin cam V-twin. So that's about it. A year later, I still really like this bike. Glad I bought it.